Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
If you're going to create any new class, there is a standard properties. The standard properties will be applicable for all tasks. Every task, it will be there. Name description. It's the same thing. You can provide whatever you want based on the requirement. What is this? Allow concurrency. Can anyone tell me? And yeah, I forgot to cover. If this task can run in parallel to the other task or not, which means the same task you can execute twice, 2 times, 3 times you can execute. The moment you are going to execute the second time, it will allow you to, with some number changes in the task, it will allow you to execute, or else it will say that already the task is executing. We are going to terminate this task or cancel the task. Allow concurrency means the same task you can execute twice, something like that. But is there any business significance of letting it do? Because no, I never seen enable this allow concurrency, but it's there. It depends upon the client requirement. If they want to enable, then we can do it, but you should know, right, what is the purpose of having this? Could you repeat what you told? Allow concurrency means, let's take an example. You have a perform maintenance task. You have executed and it's running in the background, which means that if you want to execute again, it won't allow you to execute because the task is already running. But in worst scenario, you want to execute a second time. Also, you have to enable this. Allow concurrency has to be enabled. Then you can execute the same task again. And host you. If you want to execute this task in a particular server, you can execute the task on the particular host. The number of friends, average runtime. It's quite simple. How many times the task has been executed previously on? What is the average runtime it will take to complete? You can use this details. If you want to reset, you can click on that. This is important for whenever, as part of the task monitoring, we can go to Administrator Console from there. We can check from task results page using the filter, using the date filter. You can check whenever the task is going to end with error. If you want to trigger any email alerts to particular people that they can monitor easily, in that scenario, you can enable this box. Did I cover this? No, right. It's quite simple. Email notification. You can select for failure. Whenever the task, this particular task, it could be a code aggregation, group aggregation, any task. If it is getting failure and you want to trigger an email alert, then you can do it. From here, you can select the email notification template, which email template you want to trigger. The task status. Let's select our status. The backend, you can check if you are going to trigger this task. Status email template. We have what will be there. Task status email template we have. Whenever the task is going to end, this email alert will get triggered. Email will get triggered. You can check the status. You can check the email subject first, and the task name will be there, and it will mention peoples of account aggregation. The status is success or failure. Here we have selected failure. Then it will be it's going to print failure. This is going to be your email subject. Now let's talk about email body. This is going to be email body. Quite simple here. The task name and the task status will be there, which means the peoples of account aggregation failed or ended successfully. There is a condition also. If it is warning, then it will print this line. The task ended with warning. If it is terminated or failed any error, it will print the scene. This is not Java, being shell language. It's a velocity and combination of HTN as well. If you want, you can change this body as well. You guys able to understand the moment email is going to get trigger email. This is going to be the email subject. This is going to be the email body. And start a time, complete a time will be there. Now, after that, for more details, please check this link. Click on this link and you'll come to know if you want to change the link or anything, you can update over here in the email template. Or if you want to create any new email template, then you can do it. Here, if you want, who is going to be the email recipients, you can add. Mostly it will be some group of people. Some more group will be there. And particularly if you want to add some particular people name, you can add it. The moment that ask is going to end with failure, the email will get triggered. If it is warning, you can do the same. Always whenever the status could be anything for the success, failure, warning. You want to trigger an email for each execution. Then you can achieve. This is going to be very helpful as part of the task monitoring because we won't be able to check. We won't be able to check the status each and every time. Right. We are not going to check like go to task, results from there. You can check others from the database. You can check using some query. It would be very difficult. If you get any email alerts, you can easily check. You will come to know easily the task ended with error. We need to troubleshoot. Oh, if there are no recipients listed which we want, like I want to send it to somebody, but that person is not listed here. How we can add him or her? You mean to say the identity itself, it's not present here. Then you have to get the identity first. Identity onboarded first. And then you can trigger an email. We can't be integrated with the HR tool or something like that we can pull out the email recipient name. From the data source, integrated with HR tool means already have an application, right? Already we have integrated the application from where we can capture the detail. I never came across this situation. Can you elaborate? Suppose an application is onboarded. Right now, I want to trigger a notification to the developer. Saying the maintenance is stopped. Something is wrong or something like that. And the developer is kind of new. He is not added to the SailPoint yet. Like his identity is not yet onboarded to the SailPoint yet. Now we can add him. Like again we have to. Just a minute. Any of the moment employee is going to onboard. It could be developer, any person. The moment the first account will be some authoritative system. The moment he is going to update SailPoint, basic SailPoint account will be created. He will be definitely visible. This page in this email recipient. That is what I'm asking. He will be visible. The moment he is updated in the authoritative system, he will get some basic level access to the SailPoint. He will be visible, definitely 100%. That's the reason I said I never came across the situation. We need to add some identities manually, something like if you want to trigger, you can do that for reports. I have done that by email recipients from backend. We have a entry key called email trigger or email to identity email. Something is there, some entry key. If you want, you can trigger a particular identity in that scenario. That is what I'm asking. Like particular and out of these reports. I think both are similar to email recipient only. It sounds definitely 100% identity will be there. There's a developer and definitely he'll be there in SailPoint. He'll have some basic level of access. Any other questions? Let's talk about this previous result action. You can using this, let's say performance task. If you have a task is going to execute at 5-minute basis, then how many times it's been executed for? Let me try to find any of the tasks. Here you can check right. 62 and 63 number is there. Using this previous result action, if I'm going to execute the new task, then what about the previous task? What action need to be taken? Is previous task results is deleted. Then it will delete the previous task result and we will execute. It will store the new task results. If you don't want to delete, you want to rename the whole task name, then you can select rename old task name. It will happen. It will rename the whole task name, like 84, 83, 82 for each and every execution. It will change the task name. I mean the numbers will be updated. If you want to update those number to new task, then you can click on the rename new. It's quite simple. If you are going to cancel, I don't know what will happen, but delete. It won't. The previous task results won't be there. I have covered everything. Today, let's talk about reports. Just a minute, guys. Can anyone tell me why we are going to generate the reports always? Has anyone in the senior level who is looking for reports very often from his subordinate? Simple language. We are going to collect the data about some object. If the object could be access request, the object could be identities, the object could be anything. We are going to collect all the data and we are going to prepare a report previously before SailPoint. I don't know. I'm not sure if we have to do it manually, but after SailPoint or after any other IAM too, we can easily generate the report. And based on the requirement, let's say if they want to prepare some data related to application identities, we have standard reports already. Just you can go ahead and you can execute. If this report is related to certification, we have these many certification. I mean reports you can execute and you can capture the data. The purpose, you can collect all the data. You can capture and you can send it to them. All the required people. Let me mention. Con. All the required data. from any source. When you say combine all the required data, what do you mean exactly? Let's say audit team is saying you need to prepare a data related to certification. In that, how many columns will be there? Basically, they will ask about certification, but from our end, we are going to prepare a data right. Let me open one day. Like what all do we need? Employee name, employee ID manager. Let's say employee name, first name, last name, email ID, department location is there. They will basically tell to you, we need a report for identities. But in that scenario, if we want to capture all those details, right? Like first name, last name, each and everything we need to capture and what is required, what is not required. From that, we are going to capture those data. We have these many standard attributes. We can execute 90% of the requirement will be can utilize the standard reports out of the box report. You can say 9% of the time you can achieve using this one, but 10% they want to create some custom report. In that scenario, are you getting? And that's the reason I mentioned. Combine all the required data, or you can mention all required data column anything from any source. The source could be anything. If it is a GDBC, then you have to combine all the data using joiner left, join right, join using table. Does it make sense? These reports can be for any purpose, right? Any purpose or date or performance, or it could be anything. Let me execute one report. You will come to know. Whenever you want to access any report, go to Intelligence. Click on the reports here. We have 4 tabs like My Reports, Reports, Scheduled Reports, Report Results. The scheduled reports. It's related to scheduled task, only the same thing. You can do it. You can change the cron expression when you want to execute on a daily basis the execution frequency. Each and everything, you can do it. Let's talk about reports. Let me check. Do I have any certification triggered already? I have 2 certifications. Our team is asking for some certification related information. They want me to provide. In that scenario, access review decision report, something is there. Let me execute one report. Just right click execute. Review decision report. And that bank got 700 applications. Because I have worked for Royal Bank of Canada and Capital One. I know the pressure. They have onboarded most of the application on SailPoint, but there are a few applications which they are doing manually. But if it is a banking client, definitely they will ask about. I have created a custom report as well to check the application connector status. The moment you are going to execute any report, the report will be generated. Something like this, like access review. How many access reviews are there? Let me open that. Click on that. PDF. It will open. You can download. We have these many reports. Let me open one report related to identity. These are the categories. We have these many categories. For access, review, and certification report, account group reports, activity report, administrator report, application report. I think this is the custom one which we created. Configuration resource, identity and user reports. Let me execute this report. You have these many reports inside that just go through that. And if you have any doubt, ask. You can reach me. Let's learn the reports categorized. I mean reports, properties, and how we can create custom tasks. Your client is saying you want to know the risky account. Already you know identity risk and application risk. You have learned. If you want to prepare a report based on that, in that scenario, you can execute this one risky accounts report. Let's check what it's going to be. It will refresh. From this one for this application, this user, we have the risky account, 34 risky accounts we have. Something like you can prepare a report. Let's talk about the report properties. Whenever you want, we are going to trigger a report for particular identity, particular application, or particular certification. In that scenario, just instead of right-click execute, open that report. You have these many options for each and every report. It will vary. That's the reason I said just go through all the reports. You will have some idea for each and every report. It will vary. Let me open related to application status report. Here it will be Cherry. Here you can mention the property name. Usually it will look like this one is this standard property and report layout. It will save the actions. That's the reason I'm covering this name. You can provide the report name and previous result action, the same rename old, rename new. Just now, whatever we cover the same thing. Description, it will be there. Email recipient the moment that report is going to get triggered whom you want to send this email. I mean report. You can add those people if you want to run this report, particularly on a running, I mean particular server, particular host. You can mention the host name that this report will be executed on the particular server. Only allow concurrency. The same the report want to execute at multiple times, then you can utilize this email attachment format. You want to use PD for SSV, it is going to be same for all type, all report types, the standard properties. The report layout you can select. Based on the report, what are the columns you are required to have, like application number of accounts, last aggregation, oldest refresh time, newest refresh time, what are the columns you are required the moment. If I'm going to select everything and what basis ascending order, those are the things we can select. Let me start by application. You can select which column needs to be on first, last, each and everything. Before executing, you can save and preview and you will come to know we have to the first aggregation folders refresh time, newest to first time. but these many applications. Right now you have preview this report, but you don't want to execute because you need to remove this total assignment and unique entitlement. In that scenario, go to reports layout and you can remove these things from there. Whatever columns are required, you can select. That's it. You don't want to add this total assignment and unique assignment. You don't want to add this total assignment and unique assignment. What are the columns? It's not required. You can add over here. In the two boxes, I'm not sure. You can add column, you can remove column based on the requirement, and you can utilize this. Standard properties and report data. Now let's come to report option. This report option you want to execute for particular application only. In that scenario, you can utilize these things only for particular application. You want to prepare this report. In that scenario, you can pitch. Now you can select. Let's talk about some other. Let's select some other report related to identity or any other thing. Let me open this identity entitlement detail report. Here standard properties are there. Report layout are there, same thing. What we discussed. Everything will be same here. If you want to have these columns, then you can leave it as it is, or else you can remove whatever. You are not required. State 1 identity entitlements report arguments from here. For particular identity you want to execute, you can do it. For particular application, you can do it. Which attribute you want to select, which entitlement you want to select based on the requirement, you can select and you can execute the report. Something like this. You told write user account status report. User details we have. In this out-of-the-box report, you won't be able to customize anything. If you want to customize anything, then you have to create some custom report. And it's not recommended as well in the out-of-the-box report. These are the out-of-the-box report, which means it comes with a default one. You are not supposed to make any changes in this. And how can we create a custom report from debug page using Java Bean Shell, or from using the SQL query? That if you are going to fetch the data from the database, let me try to find one. That thing I understand. From the database. If you have understanding of tables, which is keeping what thing and how they are joining, we can do that. But what about the other side? You said from debug. I mean, take the XML of the existing report and modify it. Right? Is it the same, but where would it appear? Where would it appear? It will start appearing in the same list of reports. Let me create one report from the back end as well. No issue, you guys understand, right? And the standard attributes report layout is the important one. I mean, based on that, based on the section, you can prepare your report based on the requirement. Any doubts from this? Can you explain 1 second, please? Whenever there is a requirement, client is asking, auditing, asking our application team, whoever is going to asking you to prepare some report based on some object. The object would be identity or application or entitlement role certification. The object would be anything based on some object. They will ask you to prepare some report. Is it clear? In that scenario, you can go to Intelligence and Reports. You will be having these many categorized, these many categories you have. We have these many categories. If client is saying you need to prepare a report based on certification, then you can expand this one, access review and certification. You have 12 reports. You can fulfill their requirement using any one of the report. If it is related to application, then you can execute this one, execute this report. If it is related to identity and user reports, we have 13 reports. You can utilize this one if it is related to entitlement roles or any policies. For policy violation, we have a policy violation report as well. If you want, you can execute they easily. They will come to know these many policy violations we have. That's the purpose. Whenever you are going to open any report standard, there will be section called standard properties and report layout. It will be same. Definitely it will be there. This is where you are going to mention the report name. What about the previous result action? Who is going to be the email recipient? And report layout. Which column you are required to add in this report? If I'm going to execute this report, if I don't want this first name, then I can remove. First name, last name, each and everything I can remove. And what are the columns required? I can add based on these things. This second one, the property, it will vary depends upon the object. If it is a policy violation, then it will be policy violation property. If it is related to certification, then some different thing will be there. Something like this, thanks. If I'm going to execute this report, all violation, active violation, inactive violation, what are the things you are required? You can select. As of now, I'm requiring for all violation, for all identities, for all policy. Everything will be there. Let me execute this. The moment you are going to execute this, one pivot table has been generated. Total policy violation 7, total identity 7, open violation 7. You have to take action. You can include these policy violation in certification as well. As part of the certification trigger, you can do it. These are the report data. What is the policy name? Who is going to be the policy violation owner? What is the identity? What is the status of the policy violation? Each and everything you can trigger. Let me try to find for custom one how we can create the custom report usually. Can anyone tell me where the report object will be? There are the reports or the backend. We don't have any object called reports. We don't have any object name called report here. Always, the reports will store under task definition. For reports and tasks, it will be stored under this task definition object. Whatever reports we have seen over here, like application risk live report, application risk live report, it will let me search over here. Application risk live report, it will be stored under this task definition. Whenever you need to create any new report, custom report, what you can do, you can open the existing one. Click on New. Let me remove this. Created values, each and everything. Its value should be empty always, or else it will. Whatever you are, whatever the changes you are going to make, it will be updated in the existing one. Be aware, always remove this it values. I don't have any it value apart from this. This application risk report in the back end which are going to open. There is some code how they have prepared one array list. In that array list, they are going to store all the application score using some for loop. They have done something. The same way, if you want, you can prepare a report. I mean, you can create some custom rule where it will pitch all the data and it will prepare. It will help you to prepare the report. This is how you are going to create any report. Let me change his name. Instead of application report, let me make some giveaways report. If you don't want this source code, you can remove and you can update it to the new source code. Whatever you have done it, what are the things? It's not required or the reference the columns. If it is not required, you can remove. Just click Save. The new report has been created. Your visit. If you want, you can go to Reports, refresh, and you can check. It will be there. If you are going to open, the same standard property and report layout will be there. Definitely the report option you can add. The moment I'm going to execute, it will throw some error because I have removed the source. Right? Let me execute the report. Now, Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightupptalk.com.